And we're live. I'm Cameron Deshnut.
And I'm up next to fight Jake Paul.
Oh, and welcome to Whatever You Want. We got something obviously requested by everyone because, people want to talk about it. It just happened. The fight of the century. Possibly the best thing to ever happen to the martial sports. Jason.
Oh, my God.
You want to lay it on them?
Yeah, so, of course, unless you've been under a rock, you know that Jake Paul, mega superstar, fought Ben Askren, not so mega superstar. Yeah. However, in his own right, he is. In his own right, he is, right? So, Jake Paul, to no one's surprise, he won. He won, right? Was that like a shock to you? Like, what did you think? Like, what did you think was going to happen going into the match?
Going into it, everybody was split into two camps, right? Mm-hmm. Some people thought, all right, this guy was an MMA fighter. This man knows what he's doing. And his whole thing was, I'm tired of seeing this guy make a mockery of this sport, right? Yeah. They were like, Ben's going to fuck this guy up, bro. The age gap doesn't matter because he's finally going to be the first serious fighter that Jake Paul fights, and he's not going to be ready for it. And everybody else was saying, he's a 40-year-old man, and Jake Paul's ripped. He's going to get shit kicked.
Yeah.
And then the fight started, and it came down to who was right. And about 5 punches later, we found out. We found out.
Yeah. So what camp were you
in? I wanted Ben to win, but I kind of suspected that Jake was going to win the entire time.
Yeah. So
I didn't think it was going to go like that, though. Like,
no, of course not.
When I tell you that I blew my mind when I clicked off of the stream, right?
Yeah.
I clicked off of it.
Well, because everybody illegally streamed it, by the way. If you did not illegally stream that fight, then you come on. But go on.
Yeah, I feel bad for you if you did not.
Oh, come on, yeah.
That I'm genuinely sorry for that because you had like a 4-hour build up and then nothing.
Like we felt scammed. We didn't pay for it. We felt scammed, but yeah, clicked off.
Yeah. I clicked off and I clicked back on and it was over. It was genuinely I actually missed the physical fight.
Oh, you missed the punch. You missed the one punch.
I literally missed the actual fight, and the sad thing is that I could then find the entire fight on YouTube. Yeah. It doesn't even break the censors don't pick it up because it's such a short fight.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's insane to me. It was like 10 punches.
So personally, right, with this fight, looking back on it, it's just so obvious that Jake Paul was going to win. I want you to say your theory right after I tell you my theory on why this was rigged, because one thing, right. If you can't talk about the Jake Paul fight without bringing up if it's rigged or not. And one thing that people are not doing that well, like Jake Paul and everyone else, hey guys, calling out people who are saying that it's rigged only fuels people more. Because I've never seen a boxer or an MMA fighter have to say no, that was not rigged. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that you guys keep defending it, it's like you're making matters worse. But why I think it's rigged, I have no problem with it. I think Jake Paul is a genius. And he's the dumbest person on earth, too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Jake Paul, merch link in bio. Ohio fried chicken, bitch.
He's so dumb, but right now what he's doing is a genius. And what he's doing is he's forcing his way into the boxing world. Because I actually talked about this on my TikTok and with you. What he's doing is he's fighting professional athletes who are, although retired and have never boxed before, we're professional athletes, which can make any casual fan, he has a 13-year-old audience, go, oh my God, Jake Paul just beat up a professional athlete. This guy's so good. He's doing it on his own time. He's doing it through Triller. Like, what the fuck is that?
I don't even know what that is.
Right? He's the Fight Club champion of Triller. It's just this whole scheme. It's just Ben Askren, absolutely nothing to lose if he beats nothing to lose if he loses like he just did. Nothing to gain if he beats Jake Paul, because this man, if he beats Jake Paul, what does that do for his legacy? His legacy is already okay. You're an established MMA fighter. What he gained from this fight was more popularity and more money than he ever gained as a fighter.
Oh yeah, dude, it's insane to me that two things. One, that people no matter what you want to say, right? Like Ben was not in the best shape of his life, but he should not have gone down in that little time. And I get it. Like, if you want to actually analyze boxing, right? There was what was that other fight we watched together, Jay? It was like the Goliath versus I'm forgetting the two people.
David versus Goliath.
David,
Is that what you're talking about?
No, the what was the one fight that we watched it together in your dorm room?
Are you talking about Fury versus Deontay Wilder?
I think that was it. And it was, people were confused at like what happened and why he started getting slaughtered, right? And then he had a bunch of like excuses later. But if like one lucky hit can totally derail you, and that's all you gotta say. Like, listen, sometimes you're not guarding, and it's just the luck of the moment. That hit in the ear pops the eardrum, like that's it. You're done.
Oh yeah,
right?
Of course.
Lucky hits happen. That ref took 0.2 seconds to be like, you're done, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And why do you think
Ben
that?
didn't even try.
You had a good theory. I liked your theory.
Oh, I think that genuinely, because like, why would you risk serious injury at that point? Because it's all to make money, right? My assumption is that they told the ref, they paid him, enough. They told the ref, hey, listen, you gotta look at the rules too. I know I'm like dragging this out, but the rules were, those got announced. I was like, holy shit, those were. It's just like knockout. It was basically win by knockout. Like you had to knock them out, right? That was the only way somebody was getting out of this. So it was like somebody's gonna get hurt, right? Well, nobody wants to get hurt because that's painful. And so at that point, it was like, all right, ref, whoever gets like a nice hit in first on that knockdown, right? Like that, I need you to call it. And I assume the ref just kind of jumped the gun a bit because, Ben was shaky off of that hit. And like Ben probably wasn't taking it all that seriously knowing that. And so, like, unless he just sucks. There's another video out there where Jake and Ben are like, obviously faking it, but they have like a back and forth, they're getting each other's face. And Ben like kind of shoves Jake a little, and then Ben, and like I think Jake like either shoves him or like punches him like real quick in like the side, and Ben just doesn't even react. Everybody took that as, look at that fucking confidence. He knew the punch was coming and he just tanked it. He didn't flinch. He didn't react. I wonder if he just fucking sucks. 36. Like, I wonder if he just took the punch because he couldn't do anything.
I mean,
he didn't know it was coming.
That could be a thing too. But then here's the thing people say. So I like your camp. Your camp is I don't know if it's completely rigged, but there was definitely some behind the scenes action going on, right? That's why I take
it. I'm sure it was rigged to some extent. Like, I think the ref just called it too early. Like he jumped the gun a little bit, but that was the plan the entire time. Yeah.
So I personally, I could agree with that. I can get behind that. I think Ben Askren, he's a lot better than people give him credit for, in the sense that like you watch his MMA fights, like he was a beast. He I think he was like 19-2 as a UFC fighter. He was different, honestly. He really was a really good fighter. It's just, again, not a boxer, but I really do think that this all has to do. This is just Jake Paul's manipulation here. Like he has everything in the palms of his hand. This fight,
it's so simple.
Is through Triller, dude. It's not. There's no fight night. This is not a boxing sanctioned event. He had Snoop Dogg and Pete Davidson announcing this. Like, this is not professional.
That was so funny though.
Pete Davidson's really funny. Pete Davidson, he killed it. He really did.
I'm about to go! Oh, gonna come so I hope they start kissing. Yeah. You think they'll start kissing? That's what I'm here for. Oh, okay.
But that's the thing. It's like, very not professional. He's winning this fake belt. He's all of these artists performing. Where do they come from, right? Like, what is this?
Oh, yeah. 18 hours later, he even had like a Real Steel reference with the robot for no reason.
This fight means everything to me. This one's for Shadow. As some of you guys know, my security guard passed away 9 days ago, and he's gonna be here fighting with me.
Yeah, the fucking
and
robot.
He acted like he beat like Floyd Mayweather or some shit.
He cried. He cried.
And it's like, dude, the fight was 3 seconds long.
Yeah. I don't see him fighting a real boxer anytime soon. He's gonna call out all the real fighters in the world, and then he's not gonna box them. He's gonna go after maybe another retired professional athlete, or he's gonna go after KSI. People are saying, or Ellen. Who the fuck knows?
Ellen? Did you say Ellen?
Who the fuck knows at this point?
Dude, I would pay the most money to like watch Ellen and Jake Paul fight, and not even like, I don't even want them to try to hide that it's rigged. Right, I want I want to be the most rigged thing out of my. I want all the 13-year-olds to be like, okay, listen, I know what you're thinking, and it's not rigged. Ellen's been secretly training for 18 fucking years to beat Jake Paul. She's been pounding that bag.
She's waiting for that.
No, she's been waiting to get to that.
Jake
All of
Paul
a sudden, Ellen like breaks the agreement and actually knocks him out.
fucking just beats the fuck out of him. That's so
He's
fucking
crying.
embarrassing.
The ref tries to intervene. She just takes him out too.
She brings out a gun. And like, oh no!
Yeah. Oh no!
Ellen.
Tired of people calling her mean on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I would pay such good money, but I think too somebody brought up a really good point. I think it was like MatPat or something. I think it was like Game Theory.
Okay.
Some insane shit that brought up that there's a realistic chance that Jake Paul fights Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather.
Really?
Yeah, and it's because like basically that would just he would lose that fight because it would be rigged to high hell and back. But he loses that fight, but he makes it look good enough so he can say that he contended with Mayweather, and then he gets to put that on his record. It's not like they won't be an officially sanctioned fight, so no matter what, Mayweather is never gonna lose his streak, right? Yeah. He would remain like undefeated and shit. And then Mayweather is just really in it for the money. Like he's a bag chaser.
Oh, dude,
you gotta understand that, guys. And so it's insane to think what like that fight would generate, like how much money people would pay to watch like are the best boxer versus an asshole everybody wants to see lose. And with even the rigged chances, a good chance that he actually loses this time. Like people, it would make so much money. It's almost stupid for him not to do it.
It's funny that you brought up Mayweather because my friend was talking about Mayweather and Jake Paul possibility, and he said this fight shows that money does talk, and if money talks to anybody, it's Mayweather. Money and Mayweather.
Oh yeah,
dude, best friends. So, and Jake Paul apparently made like 75 million. I don't know how much Ben Askren made, but Ben Askren definitely made in the millions because the fight alone for him was like $500,000. The
fight alone was over $500,000, I think.
Yeah, so everything else included with the pay-per-view share, I'm pretty sure he definitely gets a share. And honestly, that could be a false reported number. He definitely got paid way more than $500,000. A lot of shady stuff going on. And then Snoop Dogg fucking bet $2 million on Jake Paul. That could be very is that illegal? Like if this is rigged, that's pretty illegal. I feel.
I mean, like yeah, of course it's illegal, but it was illegal from the start.
This all feels so wrong. This all feels so wrong. Like it does.
Oh, it was the biggest fucking scam I've ever seen in my entire life. Well, that's not the case. There are bigger scams out there, but like it's some whack shit, bro.
But yeah, who knows what the future holds? Do you want to speak of more whack shit right now? Because there is some whack shit going on in the YouTube community. We
all know that this entire fight was actually just a cover-up, right? It was just a distraction from the actual news. EDP getting arrested, the man, the myth, the legend, the absolute beast, the person who we're all going to jokingly talk about, but obviously he's terrible. He's a terrible human being.
I think that my biggest, I think that everybody stopped watching EDP after, a certain, his videos have kind of went on the decline. They were, really high at one point, and then they just kind of plummeted down. His videos were not doing that great. But also, you have to be out of your mind, because some people were like, whoa, I didn't see this coming. There were rumors, a while ago, EDP, and EDP's response to the first rumors were, you have to be dumb to believe that. And then everyone said, okay, yeah, I guess not. And that was fine.
That's going to hold up in court.
Yeah, good point. So there
Your
was
Honor, do you know how much I would pay to watch a court case
with EDP
with him?
445?
Your Honor, I was beating my meat before I got in here, and and I just have one thing to say.
He's out of control, dude. He's out of control.
God.
I mean,
I can't believe it. Do you think the Eagles have a chance this year?
Dude, imagine the Eagles win the Super Bowl the first year EDP's in jail.
They honor him. That's the halftime show is just all about him.
Memorial.
They all take a knee for him at the very end.
He got to witness the Eagles win it too. You know what it is at the end of the day? This was so expected, bro, because EDP, and there's a really big part of me that is genuinely concerned for this man.
It's a really big part of him.
A huge part of him. But there's a really big part of me that's I'm concerned for him, man. It's one of those things where if you watch his videos, there's so much self-hate and there's so much oh,
he knows.
But
nobody watches his videos because it's good content.
And it's just so because I don't know. I feel like there's something. obviously there is something off in there.
Yeah,
but
of
there's
course.
definitely
You can't
more.
even look at him.
It's just like, he's just, I don't know. He just has no self-control. He just was not happy with himself. His main thing, he loved girls, loved women, but he didn't really make an effort to try to change himself. Bro, I saw the video of him standing up, not even to body shame, but that's a big dude.
Oh yeah, he's not looking good. And the mental, the physical, that's not like body shaming. I think there's a difference between loving yourself and being comfortable in your body, but also understanding that you might be unhealthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of my going back to the fact that he was just straight up caught being a predator, which everybody joked about for the longest time, and we all kind of knew. I think everybody was just kind of waiting for the other shoe to fall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my favorite to catch a predator moment thing is this guy shows up, right? I have to we'll link the video down below.
Is it the one with the two guys?
The one dude's on crutches.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't know that? Okay. All right. So the guy drives and shows up, right? And he gets out of the car. The dude they're gonna catch, right? And he starts walking up to the two guys waiting for him. You think you did something here? Who is this guy? And then they finally, I don't know how they get him to sit down and talk it out with them, and so, he's like, so you're gay? And the guy looks at him and he's like, well, not necessarily. And he's like, well, you're posing as a little girl trying to meet a little boy, which would be, which insinuates that you like men, so you're gay. And the guy thinks for a second, he goes, you know what, you might be onto something.
Is that a real? That's real?
Yeah, I'm serious. I don't know if it's super real, but real enough that I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. You might be onto something there.
Speaking of Rick, bro, if To Catch a Predator was just scripted, that is such a genius fucking
oh, that's so beautiful.
Moments in it where it's okay, how real can this possibly fucking be? But because some of these reactions are just so crazy. They're at fucking camera. There's a whole camera crew in there.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's
crew.
And those are your choice
they
of
got
words.
The house surrounded.
What are you doing here today?
Is this some kind of setup or something?
What do you mean?
I'm just on my way to the beach.
He's Michael Willis, screen name generic white male.
Those are your choice of words. It's just so crazy. But yeah. Speaking of Rick, that would be interesting. But to EDP, this man. I mean, what is the word with him? Is he going to be arrested? What is the word with him? Because right now,
I would assume.
Is it I know that he's canceled, fucking obviously, but is he arrested? What is this?
I think he's probably being held for bail or something. I don't know the full story, honestly, and it's because it was a little hard to find stuff on it. At the very least, the other day when I was looking stuff, I was really under because you what it is,
reported it first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was. I forget what I was doing. I might have even been on Twitter, which I hate doing. But somebody said something EDP.
Yeah, because I was on Twitter. I tried to look it up right after you told me. I didn't find anything on it. It wasn't trending or anything. I was a little surprised. I didn't know if it was real or not. So I was confused.
I'm pretty sure it's real, isn't it?
100% real. But when you first told me that, I was like, okay, this isn't the harder thing to believe. I didn't find any actual.
Oh yeah, no, you immediately believe it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You're I can see that.
Insane not to.
Yeah. And when I tell everybody that Jason's homeless in a couple of weeks, you're gonna be yeah, I can see that.
Oh, absolutely.
I can understand.
No way you can't. So yeah, dude, a lot of YouTube stuff going on, man. This is
I know.
Crazy. This is a crazy time. Not as crazy as 2000. What was it? 2018 with the Paul brothers when they started that whole. Because the Paul brothers did start this whole YouTube boxing with the Logan Paul versus KSI bout.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was some of the biggest shit that was gonna happen. I'm pretty sure. Did YouTube Rewind not mention that or some shit? Didn't they completely? It was the biggest event of that year for YouTube, and
it's rewind time.
I'm sure other things happened in the world that might have been a bit bigger.
Well, that was the start of the downfall. That was at the start of the downfall for YouTube Rewind.
I feel for YouTube in general, if you look at old YouTubers, it's such a what it is. It became a corporation. It was always, but it became this cold-hearted algorithm rules are everybody's struggling to make something. And if I wasn't so afraid of having a normal job, I would just post videos on here for fun. Mm-hmm. But I'm not, because I am.
Dude.
So please help.
I will say though, I do think that It's not completely. Like, I think that there's like YouTube has hope with some of these YouTubers, and they just completely don't. Like, I'm thinking because it's like,
there's great content creators on here, and nobody gives them the time of day.
You know what it is? Because right now it's like TikTok is a new kind of video medium, but it's like what it is though. It's like, in terms of the YouTubers that are kind of carrying the app right now, which is kind of strange. Not even the app, the website. It's kind of strange because whenever I'm on Twitter, I see the Minecraft YouTubers and the Among Us streamers still having YouTube on their backs.
They're still here somehow. So we didn't release an Among Us video. I feel like we could still release it.
Dude, that's what we talked about. We were like, yo, we should maybe do this before it dies. It has not died down yet.
I know. Like, I feel like we could probably still release that video and it would do well. So I have several minutes of drawings worth of that one too.
Or even just us playing Among Us. Like, that's what it is. Like, anything that we fucking do concerning Among Us. And even, like, all, like, the Dream SMP thing. Like, I still have no idea what that is. I don't know who's in it. I don't know what that is. But, like, still, like, those are the two kind of sections. The Among Us and Minecraft streamers, they're carrying YouTube. But they were also... YouTube was, like, Living Lavish with David Dobrik. And that's another thing. That died down completely. So, YouTube's in an interesting spot.
And to carry on a conversation that happened all the way back in like Bloody Bunny episode 4, I think. You once asked me, hey Cam, how did the Dan Avidan stuff play out? Because Game Grumps huge inspiration to us as a channel, and just me, I love them. I have a good time, and I understand the flaws with them. But you know, Dan Avidan pretty much acquitted of all charges. People really just like jump the gun, as Twitter does, and just like attack people. And it was really, for everybody who doesn't know or like already forgot, because it's like once things are over on Twitter and YouTube, it's just over and nobody brings it up. But for anybody who didn't know, Dan was accused of grooming fans, right? And what he was really guilty of is just ghosting girls that he slept with, which is like, yeah, shitty. Like, you shouldn't do that, obviously, but it's not a punishable offense, and it's not as bad as grooming, right? And
so absolutely. Dude, grooming fans and ghosting people that you slept with. That is two completely different things.
Two totally different, ballparks to be batting in. But yeah, it just got taken out of, like, context and, like, blown out of proportion. And, and so it was just stupid. And it actually came from a Game Grumps, like, subreddit, which is just, like, a hate subreddit from them. So people like believe that as fact, even though it was like a subreddit day. How could you do that? Like, I would be flattered. I hope one day there's like, I hate whatever you want. Like, god damn it, I would murder them if given a chance.
Dude.
Yeah, dude, I'd love that for us, because that would be super cool. People care about us enough to hate us, but at the same time, like, how sad you have to be to dedicate your life to like a, you know, like to spend your time just hating on these YouTubers that are never gonna see it and are never gonna care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially, like, they're huge, so they're definitely not concerned with it.
I mean, one of my biggest fears, especially because now, the more I get into my life, the more enemies I guess I create. Because I just created a fresh new one just now. I'm really scared of getting canceled. I'm terrified of getting canceled.
Yeah. Oh, Jason is the most likely candidate. How many people have come up to me and just been like, "Can you guys say that stuff?" And I'm like, I don't bring me into this. That's him or him, whichever side of the screen he's currently on for me. That's him.
Absolutely,
don't bring me into this at all. Everyone, I'm not even gonna address it. You're just not gonna. It'll just be Eli instead of you one day on the other side of the screen.
But until that happens, all this YouTube drama means is that we are the two chosen ones.
Oh yeah. Oh,
we're gonna carry YouTube on our backs.
Can you see the stars aligning, the planets? I'm a Gemini in vertebrae. I don't know. I don't know any of that shit. I don't. Who are? If you believe in that, like, if you're having fun, different story. But if you believe in that, like, what are you gonna believe in next? Evolution?
End the video.